Good morning, church family. Happy Monday. Today I'm going to bring you a word of encouragement, and I hope you had an awesome weekend. So a couple weeks ago, I talked to you about picking up our cross daily. And then last week, I went through Proverbs 3. And then this morning, I wanted to go through Proverbs 4, but kind of in a different way because there was something that kind of was insightful to me out of Proverbs 3 and 4. They start off kind of the same, that we need not to forsake his teachings. And then I wanted to go back a little bit about picking up our cross daily and the difficulties that come being a disciple and a follower of Jesus Christ, and how we can be consistent in that. Because I think one of the things that we all struggle with, real talk, is we all struggle with getting in our word daily. I'm going to ask you, even right now, when's the last time that you got into your word and you sat at the master's feet and just said, okay, God, speak to me? Because the reality is that we all struggle with this. We have great moments. We have great, maybe a couple months where we're like solid, man. Every day we're in his word. And I think in this crazy pandemic season, just talking to a different few people, it's been a struggle to get in his word daily. But in both of those Proverbs, it tells us why we need to be in his word daily and in his teachings. Look, we're always going to have situations in our lives that we encounter, whether it's difficult situations, whether it's struggles, marriage, kids, work, you name it. Well, where does that wisdom and discernment sometimes come from? Yes, we know that God speaks through his people, we listen to a sermon, through worship, right? But I think there's a lot more that we gain by being in his word daily, in his scripture. And that's the beauty of it. See, Jesus even talks about this in the New Testament, right? And we see that when Jesus was tempted by Satan, when he was in the 40 days in the wilderness, he was tempted. And how did Jesus himself fight him? And not physically fight him, right? But he quoted scripture in each one of those temptations. And that's the beauty of his word. And when we memorize his word, is when we have those situations, whether difficult situations or temptations, that we're able to fight those off by quoting scripture. There's a great system out there by Navigators. And I used to have one, and I was trying to look for one, see if I had one. But it's a little wallet-sized little leather case that you get, and you rip off daily scriptures and you put them in there and you memorize scripture. I used to use it as part of discipleship that I did with a few guys, where we would memorize scripture and get into his word daily. And man, it's so refreshing to the soul when we get into his word on a daily basis. And I want to encourage you this morning, if it's been some time since the last time you got in his word, I want to encourage you that you dive into his word and that you start, you know what, and maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's been more than just a few weeks, or maybe it's been a few months since the last time you did it. I really want to encourage you to jump in and get into it, make an effort to get to it, and start off saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And I can't tell you hey, it's 30 minutes, it's 15 minutes, it's 20 minutes. Look, maybe this is you're reading 4 or 5 verses. I told you a few weeks ago that, man, social media had just, and news and all that stuff, was getting to me, and I was reading it way too much. And I made an effort, and have continued to make an effort, that when I reach over for my phone in the morning, that's right next to my bed, the first thing I do before my feet hit the ground is I read 2 or 3 verses. And then I go brush my teeth, hop in the shower, and do all that stuff. And then when I get to the office, I finish off what I started. So maybe that's what you need to do. Set some reminders to keep you reminding you, hey, get in your word. We have these amazing phones that have all kinds of technology that we can use. Let's use them for a greater good. so that we can set reminders, alarms to get into His Word. I know if you have an Apple phone or a Samsung phone, I know I can set reminders to remind me to do things so that I don't forget. That's a great way to use this phone that we all have in our pockets for a greater good, so that we can stay connected to the Master and to His Word. Church family, I hope that you are encouraged as we seek to become better followers of Jesus Christ and be better disciples. Let's get on His Word daily. Love you guys.